So the plan is to kill someone. I get a text message with name and face and some other background info that I didn't really care to read at the time, yada yada yada. The client also specifically mentions that it wants this done discreetly without alerting the enemies or raising the alarm. Now I can choose to ignore his request, but I kinda feel like playing stealthily, and generally you get more rewards for doing it the way that the client wants you to do it. The guard at the front tries to greet me, but I don't speak Italian, so I move past him and continue scanning the area for other guards and for places that I can hack into. While I'm scanning, look who I see, quest marker above his head and everything. It's our target, sitting in the back in the kitchen with a guard in front of him by the window. Now that I know where the target is, the next order of business is to find out where the rest of the guards are. I could use my eyes, or I could hack into their local network, and use a ping command to highlight every guard on the local network in red. Look at that. Using the ping command, I can tell there are no guards in the kitchen, and it looks like he just turned his back. We're not going to have much time for this, so we're going to cause a bunch of electronics to malfunction and distract some guards. And we're going to have the guy by the window reboot his optics. This is going to blind him for around 5 or 6 seconds, so we don't have much time to do this. Nobody's looking, get into the kitchen, grab the target, take him out, stealth, 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 and now just act casual. So we make it outside of the bar, the guards are none the wiser. The client calls us to thank us for our success, and even pays us an additional bonus for doing it stealthily. You can still see the guards pinged, and it looks like one of them might have caught on, but god, how cool was that? You see why I wanted to show that to you? I totally feel like a cyber assassin. I'm like 75% chubbed right now, and I can reward myself by pulling out my shotgun, walking back into the bar, and just murdering everyone that was in there. And yes, my shotgun is lighting them on fire. I know it's badass. This game is awesome. This weapon is awesome. Back to the task at hand. We just murdered everyone that was in this bar, and now we're free to loot every item and every weapon that they had. I'll use those items later on to sell and make money, or break down into parts to craft my own better items later. This part of the gameplay loop usually feels like a little treasure hunt because you never know when you'll find an epic new item or a nice upgrade and replacement. I just found that nice hat that I decided to take and equip, which looks a lot worse than the hat I was wearing when I walked in. But that's okay because it's epic, and now I leave looking a little sillier than I did when I entered. But I also found a back door to the place, and on the roof I found an entrance that leads me very close to the kitchen. God, this job would have been so much less stressful if I had just used that back door. Anyway, I leave and I call my car, which spawns like 100 meters away from me and seems to be driving away. So I call it again, causing it to teleport nearby. Whatever, okay, we run to it, we get inside, and we drive off to our next buggy adventure. Now, the reason why I showed that clip was because it shows the two ways through which I enjoyed playing Cyberpunk. The first way is kind of like the roleplay, give a shit kind of way, where you take the world seriously, you take the rules that the world imposes on you seriously, you like the characters and care about them, you try to do what you think your character would do in that situation and at that time. The world and characters are made with enough detail that taking them seriously and playing along is fun and rewarding. But at the same time, and what's just as fun, and if not more, is the second way that I enjoyed playing Cyberpunk, which was to take those rules that I cherished in the first way and throw them out the window. Instead of seeing what the game allows me and wants me to do, you try to find out what the game can't stop you from doing. I'd take those rules, tiptoe around them, bend them to see how much I could bend them before they break. I'd follow along with them till I reached their logical conclusions, where I'd either find a new exploit and break something, or a dead end, at which point I'd reload a quick save and try again, something else. A bunch of times I'd try to see how early I could take on higher level enemies that would have skulls over their head. It wasn't really early on. Those guys are pretty tough. And this other time I spent like 25 minutes trying to get on top of one of these trains. You got these train tracks above around the city that you can't really get on. So I managed to climb to a couple of places I probably shouldn't have been able to get to. And I got on the train. And while I was on it, just driving around enjoying it, it just kicked me off. I think I hit an invisible wall. Then it appears coming back at me. I get on it, and it disappears again. I don't know what happened. It must have just been a figment of my imagination or something. Another thing that kind of pissed me off was this weapons room that you have in your apartment, and it's kind of a place where you can show off one-of-a-kind weapons that you find in the game. And I say one-of-a-kind because there's only one of them. You don't get more than one. So if you have a weapon being displayed in the showcase, you can't take it and use it. So for example, this gun that I just took out, since I took it out of my stash here, it's empty on the wall now. That's the slot it's supposed to go into. It's called the Mox. It's my favorite shotgun. It's that one that was lighting people on fire earlier. See, I put it right back there. So it kind of pissed me off that you couldn't have one and have it displayed. So I did what any logical man would do, which was I duplicated the ever-loving shit out of it. I had like 18 of it. It was actually kind of crazy. Look at them. I had so many. Now I had one to put in storage and display it on the wall. And I used the rest to craft a legendary one, because the stats on the crafted one are random, so like I could keep trying. And I wanted the best stats. But now I put one of them on the wall, and it shows up on the wall now, so I'm happy. What I want you to take from this video essay is not my review of Cyberpunk 2077 or my recommendation that you play Cyberpunk 2077 or anything like that. I'm not going to give it a score. What I want you to know is that I hacked this guy to detonate his grenade, and once it was done, he didn't die. I walked up to check this out. I walked up to investigate, and it was flashbang the whole time. Can you believe that? Do you believe that?
Anyone there?
This game basically consumed all of my free time since the day it came out. I think one aspect that helped a lot in doing that was how rewarding it is to play. You kill a guy with your pistol, you get experience for your pistol skill, you get street cred to level up your street cred from the kill itself. You get to pick up the gun and items that he drops and use them to sell or to craft, to upgrade your crafting. If you sell them, you can save up money to get some new cyberware like a double jump or a charge jump, which you can use to get around better. It's just, everything about this game just made me want to play it more, and not in a bad, addictive, grindy kind of way, more in a rewarding experience kind of way. I like the story, I like the characters. I cried twice, once at the beginning and once at the end. I mainly used shotguns and light machine guns, and it's called the Annihilation skill tree. Pretty cool. It was very fun to play that way. The guns feel super satisfying. I did a lot of side content. Really got nothing to complain about. It was just really fun. Really fun. I had a lot of fun with this game. But it's not perfect. I mean, why'd they make the guy stuck in the basketball net with the bleeding ass so hard to loot? Just give me his shoes. Got his shoes. Got something else. He's got something else. What is it? Oh, it's a note. Ooh. It's his backstory. Maybe this game is perfect. Now, before I go, the last thing I want to show you is me finding Stan Lee, a reference to him, lovingly put into this game by CD Projekt Red. I actually made a save data right before. You can see him kind of in the picture there. So let's load this and go check him out. Wait a second. That's not Stan Lee. Stan? That's not him. What's this message? The best weapon against capitalism is uninterrupted meditation.